Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth and last installment of landscape painting using David Hockney as our reference. I hope you're all doing alright at home and bearing up with the lockdown. We're on week number 3, I think. So yeah, spring has come to London and I hope you are enjoying the warm weather and you're keeping creative from home. So we're going to be doing the last bit on this painting. We've done all the hard work by putting all those base layers, all the drawing at the beginning and everything. So what we're going to be doing now is working on detail. Detail is quite time consuming, so make sure that you have plenty of time to do this. I'm going to do it quite fast because otherwise you would be very bored at home watching this video for so long. So it's not going to look absolutely amazing, but yours is going to look much better than mine. I hope you send me pictures so that I can see what you've done from home. It makes me really happy to see what you do. Okay, let's get cracking. So I'm going to get started by toning down some bits of the purple, and I'm going to be moving around the painting, working with thinner brushes. Just anywhere that I see the purple, I'm just putting a lighter one on the top. So all we're going to be doing now is basically putting in the lighter tones everywhere and the brighter ones, because we've got all that base of darks already in there and all of our mids as well. So I'm keeping an eye on my picture but not following it completely, which is okay. So just anywhere that I see lighter tones of the purples, putting them in. And then I'm going to be moving on to my greens. First I'm going to work on the dull greens. So I've used that green and I put a tiny bit of red, cadmium red, that's a light red, to dull it down. Oops, I've got a little bit of hair in there. Okay. And I'm still working quite loose because it is a very loose painting. So you can do it quite quickly and don't worry too much about being too precise. Just keep the looseness because it will keep the painting looking quite fresh. So by adding lights is kind of giving it more three-dimensional feel to the painting. And it's also an opportunity to tie up any loose bits that you might have and fixing over any mistakes, because the beauty of paint is that you can always paint over any mistakes. So if something is not looking quite right, with a light you can make it a little bit better. I'm trying to keep the lights more or less at the top of this tree, just thinking about the light source and where it would be coming from. And when doing branches, make sure that you're putting the light on one side only of the branch and not on both. And that would keep it, making it look more realistic. Okay. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a bit and I'm going to be working on this hedge. Just trying to make these lines a little bit more defined. And by working with mid-tones and light tones. They're all very dull in the hedge. And I think it's because Hockney is trying to keep our focus elsewhere rather than on the hedge. And over here at the bottom of the tree, it's becoming a lot warmer in tone. And that he's done on purpose, because if we put warmer colors in the foreground of a painting, that will bring them forward and help us bring the illusion that things are closer to us and other things are further away. Just gonna add a little bit of white onto that one. Just give it a bit of detail. So I'm doing all of this very fast because obviously it's a demo and I've got quite a lot of experience painting. But you guys working from home are going to take your time and do some really, really good observation and work much slower than what I am. And that way you can ensure that you get better results than me. Okay, so I'm going to bring a little bit of warmth into this tree as well. He's done it with different tones and colors that I'm using. But it's okay, when you're doing a version of somebody else's painting, it's nice as well to give it your own touch and change things if you want to. Why not? Okay, I gotta make sure to be quite careful, don't put too much warmth when you're getting further away, so just a tiny touch, it's okay. Otherwise you would change the depth of the painting. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I think we more or less got that. I'm gonna work a tiny bit more on the hedge and I'm gonna be moving on to the top. So I'm just putting some really dark greens over there. And quite light. Incorporate them a little bit into the background. I'm gonna put it a little bit over here. Oops. And give some highlights over there. And now I'm gonna start putting some on the tray. Oops, I went a bit too light there. Let's change it up. Okay, I'm gonna bring a little bit of warmer and brighter greens. Get some smaller brushes for the branches. Always change your brushes according to what you're painting. It's really important. I see a lot of beginners that they kind of stick with the same brush and not really thinking about what different parts of the painting demand. So if you're working with detail, you're going to need to work with a 1 or a 0 or even a 000 brush. And if you're doing big bits, you're going to do them with bigger brushes. So while I'm here, I'm going to put in some of this really nice green. This is called a permanent green. If you haven't got it at home, you can mix a cerulean blue with some lemon yellow. The only problem is that it's not very permanent. That means that you might have to do quite a few layers to get it to be as strong as this one here. You can hear my toddler talking over there. It's getting to lunchtime, so he's getting a little bit hungry. Okay, I'm gonna get a mid brush over here to kind of, whoops, wet, to blend that in a little bit. You see, that's using a clean brush and just using it in to blend it up a little bit to make the work a little bit finer. Okay, using the same brush, I'm going to start getting in these highlighted details. In the tree trunk with this really, really bright green. And I'm gonna go up the branches. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to detail, but this time getting some of the dark purples. And I know I normally say that you put your darks on the first layers, but in this case they're kind of like outlines, so we need them at the top. I'm just blending that in. And we're gonna get some browns. And for these browns I'm using both reds, a little bit of cadmium yellow and some cerulean blue. Oops, that's too light. Just gonna make it a little bit darker. And just start separating a little bit these planes and bringing in some detail onto it. Okay. Gonna grab some white, mix that brown into a bit of a lighter color and bring in a little bit of lighter parts into a tree to continue to work on that detail. I'm going to tidy up this green there at the back, keep it quite dull. And I'm going to get a little bit more of that purple hedge on this side. So when you're doing very, very fine lines, it's important that you keep your paint quite wet. It increases the flow of the paint and it makes it easier to work on fine detail. Okay, we're nearly done here. You guys at home are going to be working on it a lot better than me. Just gonna bring in some of this really, really warm cadmium yellow. And the whole painting is kind of quite dull, so bringing in this yellow is really, really important. And he's got it in the fill there at the back as well. And here I'm going to be putting in a little bit of brown on that hedge. Not hedge, the guidelines for the road. Go. And a little bit more of the greens down here. Okay, now that I've done all that, I am going to continue over here in this section. He's putting these warmer tones here to try and close in. Hi, Felix.
He's painting.
Yeah, Mommy's painting. Okay, so that's to give the illusion of a tunnel and putting the focal point in here and really trying to guide the viewer inwards into the landscape. Yeah, just gonna add a few more remarks here and there. Add a few more branches.
He's making trees. I like who makes a jumps. Is it that a much is that phone and that's a tree?
That is trees, yeah. What else can you see, Felix?
Are you working? Come on.
That's Tommy and that's Felix. Say hello.
Hi.
Okie dokie.
I want to see her. He's painting. He's painting.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pull back and try to see. So last and not least, what I'm gonna do is grab a really, really dark color here and bring in a little bit of a dark line to the branches, just to make them pop a little bit more. Sorry guys, that's a fire alarm because my partner is cooking us lunch. Okie dokie, something must be burning in the kitchen. Just adding a little bit of warmthness. So as you can see, whenever I've got a color that I'm using here or there, I just go around the whole painting applying it rather than just using it in one area. So see that tiny bit of dark just on one side works really well at making things pop. I'm bringing a bit more definition and making it look more three-dimensional. Okay, just have to be careful that it doesn't get too watery. Okay, my lovelies, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I could carry on painting this forever and adding loads of detail, but it's very important to know when to stop as well. And I always tell my students a lovely phrase by Picasso that said that a painting, it's never finished. It just stops at interesting places. And with that, I am going to. Oh, where is the camera? Sorry, I'm by myself at the moment. So, with that, I'm going to say goodbye and see you very, very soon. I'll be doing 2 more videos next week, and I hope you all have a lovely day and enjoy your painting. Take care. Bye bye.